Welcome back to LFTV Live. Now in our studio, we've got a bit of a mixed bag for you. We've got Living in a Box featuring Kenny Thomas and Steve Norman from Spandau Ballet. Woo! Wow, wow, wow. What a sofa we've got here. Kenny, how is it for you all being together again and being back at Lytham Festival?
It's wonderful. It was my first time here, obviously, but being with the guys.
Back together, I mean.
Oh, it's wonderful. I love being with Living in a Box, and Steve I know from back in the day, and yeah, it's just great.
So
to have him on stage with us was brilliant.
Well, I was going to say, because you went on stage, didn't you? So tell us what else you're doing here, Steve.
I've just realised actually that every one of us here, every one of you guys, I know personally, individually. You know, it's not like you know a band and then some you know better than others. But you know, I know you, Kenny. I know you, and I know you, and
yeah.
And it's
does it feel a little bit like the old days?
And I bumped into you in the square because I was doing some acoustic thing earlier on, a bit of a pop-up thing. And he said, "Oh, come on stage tonight then." Okay, right, all right. So that's how it happens, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of what we do and why we do.
And what I love about that is that you guys from Living in a Box are not going, "Don't be stealing our thunder." It's like you're out there, aren't you?
No, we all get on, and it's a good sympathetic band. Minstrels, here we go.
Yeah. I was going to say, the crowd out there look absolutely like they're having a great time. It must have been fantastic to be performing in front of them, going absolutely crazy.
Yeah, they're very excitable. We put the rhythm into Lytham, which is what we were here for.
Rhythm into Lytham, I'm going to pinch that.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what we were going to do with Lancashire, but I couldn't really say that.
When it's like that, do you ever want to come off? Do you ever want to come off stage when it's going like that?
No, it's such a great vibe. It really is, and they were really up for it tonight, and we were. I mean, we had a good rehearsal. We thought it was going to be great fun, and it was. It's just good to hear all the tunes, and actually, I could hear the audience singing so loudly, knowing all the words to all the songs, because obviously Kenny's set and our set mixed as well together, and you got pretty much hit after hit, so they knew all the songs, and they sang their hearts out. At times I was thinking, I can't actually hear whether Kenny was even in there. So no, they were great.
He was having a rest. He was like, I'm leaving them to it.
No, they're brilliant.
But tell us, how did that come about, that collaboration? Obviously, you're Living in a Box and you're Kenny Thomas, so how does that come together?
Oh, it's over to me, is it?
It's over to you.
And Marcus approached me some time ago and said that the original singer Richard didn't really want to do it anymore, and they wanted to go out and do some gigs, and they had me in mind, and was I up for it? And we knew each other from way back in our days of Chrysalis Record, the early days, stroke EMI Records, and I knew some of their songs, well, most of them, and I loved them. And they were having hits before I was, so I aspired to be like them in my earlier career, and we got together and we got on, and of course we knew each other previously, but it helped that I sang the songs and sort of made them my own, but kept them true to their original form as well, and it just works. It works, and it's real fun.
And it shows it works if they're all singing along.
Having seen the show for the first time and feeling it backstage and that, I mentioned it to you, Marcus. And what you bring and what you've got Living in a Box with Kenny Thomas is the soul and the electronica that just marriages so well. It just works so well together with a couple of sort of classic tracks in there as well, some soul tracks in there. For me, it broadens the scope of what you're all doing here, and I love it. It's right on my
looking
street.
for 20 quid. I mean, very good. You keep that up. That's lovely.
On camera. 20 quid, I just said a fiver.
I'm a bit short.
That's great.
So when you all came together, did it click straight away when you were rehearsing?
We didn't rehearse.
Wow.
We just went straight on stage.
Really?
First time I heard Kenny sing our songs was in Bristol, at a big event, probably 12,000 people.
Wow.
I didn't even have to. I mean, I kind of knew from the off that he had all the tones in his voice and the power and the soulfulness to bring all his DNA from his music into ours, and it would work. And it was a bit of a wing and a prayer, but actually not really. It just worked from the off.
But is the competition, though, over whose songs get the biggest cheer? What do you think?
It's an even medium between what the audience is going to respond to, and we've got a selection of good, top 40 hits to choose from, and it flows, and we put a couple of covers in there as well, and it's an idiom that suits the audience. It's sounding good.
And you guys don't know this, but when you were warming up earlier on today, we were doing some prep, weren't we, for tonight's show? And we were loving it. We were dancing along just in that little marquee there.
You thought you were sound checking on your own.
There was no net. We were. Yeah. We've got a video, but we tried to get it in, but we couldn't get it on in time. It's on Cal's phone.
We were. Yeah. Without your love.
Hey.
That is a favourite. I love that
We were
one.
having a great time, and it looked like you were having an absolutely a blast up there on
Yeah,
stage.
how can you not? It's such a great audience and a great place, you know. It's a brilliant show,
And
it really
what's
is.
next for you now? Have you got time before you go anywhere else? Have you got time to enjoy the rest of the festival tonight?
Yeah, we're going to try and enjoy the rest of the festival. You know, we've got to load up the car and do all the sort of things that unfortunately one has to do nowadays to, you know, keep the show on the road. But yeah, no, we're going to enjoy it. I mean, you know, looking forward to seeing the Human League, who I haven't seen for ages, who are another Sheffield band. Midge is a good mate of mine. I've known Midge for years as well. Another Chrysalis Records guy, of course. You know, so yeah, we'll see them all. We'll have a few beers.
Well, I was about to say, tell us what you've got going on, Steve.
Well, I'm actually here for me and Rusty Egan from Visage, who's DJ as well. Actually, he from the Blitz. You know, Spandau kind of came from the Blitz. He was the DJ there that brought all this cool electronica from Germany, and really shaped the sound of the 80s and helped not just Spandau, but, you know, Living in a Box, all of us really, and all the stuff that we were listening to in the 80s was. He drives me nuts sometimes because he's we love him as much as he drives us nuts. He is nuts, and you know, I think sometimes he doesn't get the credit he deserves for shaping the sound of the 80s, because he really did do that. And so we're playing tomorrow night in Lowther Pavilion.
Yeah, of course.
He's on his own tonight. I'll be there. I might even take
Well,
the sax.
we met Rusty, and he's quite a character, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a right
quite a
character.
character,
We love
yeah.
him.
Yeah, so tonight, obviously, 80s, 90s, big night for Lytham Festival, and if you've seen the crowd, there's lots of great outfits. We've seen tonight. We've seen Eddie the Eagle, the T-Birds, and the Smurfs.
Smurfs are our favourite.
All on the same side. But I was wondering for you guys, what do you prefer, 80s, 90s?
Controversial.
That's a very difficult question to
Yes,
ask
it
me,
is.
because I kind of,
Now, come on,
well,
think about
see,
it.
the thing is, I'm a 90s artist,
Yes, indeed.
but some of my songs were 80s songs, like Tender Love and Outstanding were 80s songs. So,
Oh,
I
Ross is
would-
not letting you sit on the fence, Kenny.
okay. I would say purely from my love of black music and soul and, you know, traditional R&B, I would say it had to be, and funk, especially jazz funk, the 80s.
And because you sat next to these guys.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
because I'm sat next to these guys, and I want to make it to tomorrow's gig.
Yeah. And I need to ask you, how many times has somebody asked you if you've ever lived in a cardboard box?
Oh, all the time.
Because I'm just throwing it
In
in
fact,
there. Because we
normally-
were all saying, just ask it. We've got to ask it.
Normally there's somebody again in the audience tonight with a cardboard box on their heads, and I have to hand it to them. And
that
they
should
give-
have been
I
us.
was going to get one. I was going to
Yeah,
try and get
there
one,
are
but
a
I
few
thought
out
You've
there.
probably said that so many times. They're like, no.
Well, they do ask, and the response, I don't know how I can say that, but no, it's great that they're interested still and want to know the story behind that song, because it's often misconstrued as a song about homelessness, which it actually isn't. It was a song about being constrained, really, and just trying to break through something that isn't solid. It's a perception. And that moral or that thought stands as much today as it did in the 80s. It's just about doing your best, getting out. If you feel you're in a situation, either financially, emotionally, geographically, that you want to break out of, then it's probably only cardboard. And with a bit of effort and a bit of energy, positive energy, you can break through it. And that's what that song was about.
And have you had a chance to enjoy our lovely Artist Village? Is there any familiar faces back there?
They're all familiar faces. Yeah, we've been at this a while. So there's some titanic talent behind that stage there. You know, there's some real superstars, global superstars, coming from the 80s and the 90s. You know, and it's great to be with them and see them as friends as well as performing artists.
I mean,
as well.
does that help sort of calm the nerves before you go on stage? You know, sort of with your friends. You know, and obviously
Well,
you
I don't know
guys.
what you think.
I missed that. I didn't even hear.
Oh, bloody hell.
Well, they've lost interest.
Yeah, it does, because there is a social vibe down there. I mean, everybody's there to do a job, you know, so there's a little bit of staring at your shoes, and sort of everybody gets a bit nervous, you know, rightfully so, before they come on. They want to do their best, so there is a bit of nervousness, but also the friendship and the kindred spirit of everybody. There's no, you know, it's a bit like waiting like Top of the Pops in the old days, waiting back to get on stage. And everybody's having a good old time, but then it was a little bit more, you know, competitive maybe.
I get the question now, and there's no competition at all. What came for me tonight was the friendship that I have with all the people on this sofa now, and that's what it's like. Whatever it takes, I'm going to be there because I was asked, and that's more special than anything. And I think that's what comes across at the end of the day. You know, you're not doing it for any social media big thing, whatever. I know it's interesting. It's interesting for people, But what I love about it is the fact that these guys trust me to go on there without any rehearsal, whatever. I'm literally working it out the key backstage.
Pros, you don't need a
when I
rehearsal.
thought about it earlier on, I had the wrong key. I thought about yeah.
But I mean, you mentioned
Doesn't
social
matter, you
media
know.
there, though. I mean, how do you feel about like today's kind of music industry? And obviously, all celebrities, all kind of pop stars, they're all on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. What do you think of that?
It's a different medium to how I used to experience the fanship of adoring funk and good songwriting and rhythm, and it's more based upon communication electronically, and I hope that
I think you don't really need to be asking Titch about social media. Unfortunately, he is not
Is
gifted
that the worst question
in
to
that
ask? Tish?
department.
Sorry. That's like me and him, because he was born in 1995, and I'm just getting my head around
Oh,
Twitter.
goodness me.
For me, it's a good way to with the bands and music I like. It's a good way for me to obviously listen, see what they're up to, and try to get in contact with them. Because obviously, I mean, it's impossible to, if they're on the other side of the world, I can drop them a message. So
Storks, the 1975. I don't know if you've heard of them. Yes, of course. Yeah. Well, he absolutely loves them.
They are my all-time. All-time favourite band.
Are we allowed to ask anything happening with Spandau Ballet, Steve? Can we? Oh, hey, Mike, one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give the man a mic.
No, really, we're going forward. Tony, the singer, has made his choice, and he made his choice a little while ago. The only sort of thing with us was that he did make his choice a while ago, and has now just made it public. That's all. Good luck to him, and really do wish him the best of luck. We're dear friends from school, and I just always would wish the best to him and everyone in the band, But he's taken a different path, but we're still on that path. And for right or for wrong, we're going to find another singer, whether it's permanent or not. We're going to find someone, because we still have a desire to do it, and we're still creative, and we're
Kenny,
writing.
stay where you are.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
Well,
Just making music is a good thing, right? And that could.
well,
that must
thank
be
you
good.
so much for joining us. I'm so glad you enjoyed being at Lytham Festival.
Loved it.
It's been
Thank you for
absolute
having
pleasure.
us.
For
you're
everyone-
welcome. Thank you very much.
And for everyone watching at home, stay tuned. We're going to be back with more great contact. We're just going to go for a little break.